Now, where did you get like this hobby for, what do you call it? This hobby for
Weaving.
weaving. Did you pick it up in Morocco or in France?
The funny thing is, weaving is big in Morocco because it's like ancestral art over there. That's how they make the famous Moroccan rugs. But I learned online.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm just trying to call someone.
Sure, no worries.
Uh-huh.
I learned online from a class, and I was in England at the time. So I was going through a lot of things.
Oh, wait, how did you end up in? Oh, because
In England?
Yeah, that's
'Cause-
uni or something.
No, my daughter's father is British.
Ah, okay.
So I got married, went to England, and I was there. And when I was pregnant, I was looking for something to keep me busy, even though I was working. So I started sewing. And then sewing became a bit complicated in terms of just logistics. You know, you need the machine, you need the table, you need time, you need it.
Yeah.
It takes energy.
Yeah.
Whereas weaving was so much more simple, sorry. So at first I used to see those pictures of wall hangings on Pinterest, and I was thinking, this looks ugly, but I want to give it a try. So I did. And then I never stopped, and I kept paying for courses and classes online, and I learned more and more. And that was still in England, yeah. And when I came here, I noticed there was no such thing, so I took advantage of it.
Yeah, because, like for me, I still just find it hard. That's something that I would do probably if I'm high, locked up in a room, and somebody threw those things. And those were the only things that were on the floor. Because I'm just trying to think.
It's not
Okay.
that bad.
No, it's not that bad. I'm just saying.
It's not your thing.
Not just me. Like a lot of people would want to understand. Like in this digital era, everybody else would be doing like so many other things.
It's true.
They'd be like, if you're really, somebody would want to understand how comes, why this. But would you say it's because, did you adapt to this when you got into like motherhood?
Yes,
During that time when now you're home and you want to spend time with the kid
definitely.
and do something that's not, that doesn't require you to leave the kid.
Definitely. Like for example, for the sewing, I tried learning how to sew many times in my life, and I always failed. When I was 15, like it was just so hard. And then when I was pregnant, it was just me, the sewing machine, and YouTube. So it's like now is the time to focus on this and to
And
succeed.
actually,
And
actually.
I don't know. Yeah, motherhood brings like new skills. You adapt. You need also escapes from just
So
being
many
with your
other
child.
things, yeah.
Like I was at home with my baby for like a year and a half. So it's just me and her breastfeeding, and I needed something else because I was not working.
Yeah.
And for me, that's really hard. And I didn't have a social life that much either. So I really needed something to keep me busy, to keep me alive, to just make me a human being, you know?
Yeah, just not to go crazy, man. Because I can
Exactly.
only imagine. But did you
Outside.
have like a social life before, or you're just one of those people who are just like, you know what, I'm just going to keep to myself?
What
Were you
do you
were you
think?
an introvert?
No, not at all. I'm
Not at
very
all?
social. Yeah.
Or before you got, but now like
Even
after
before.
having the kid, now you were forced to.
You know what happened is that in England, I was struggling to make friends just because of how it is.
Why? Shouldn't it be easy? Okay, isn't it like a cultural like environment?
It wasn't where I was. I was not in London. I was
Okay.
in a smaller town
Where?
in Coventry.
Coventry.
Yeah.
Why am I asking like I know where it is? Okay.
Some people know. It's a small word.
okay,
You never
yeah.
know.
No, the listeners definitely somebody would relate to that.
It's next to Birmingham. It's very community based. So it's like Asians are with Asians, Somalis are with Somalis, white people are with white people. And then I'm like the Moroccan chick who just arrived and just like, I don't know anyone except my in-laws.
Yeah.
And I got a job. I got 2 different jobs at some point. I was very close to my colleagues at work, but then no one ever said, let's grab a coffee because you're new in this country.
What?
Yeah, I mean, except one person who was a Chinese lady. So
Yeah.
she was also, like, she didn't have a family there as well. But she was way older than me, so it wasn't like a friendship
Yeah,
thing.
like you
It was
can't
more
really.
like relate to the person. She was like 40 something.
Yeah.
And it was the first time in my life that I struggled that much to make friends.
You're like, yo, this is a new place. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like how can you adapt and love a country when you don't have anyone to talk to outside of your husband who's at work like the whole day, you know?
No, that's crazy though.
Yeah, it was tough.
I can only imagine. But so how do you cope with that though? Before we come back to,
You don't cope with it. That's the reason why I left England. Like after 2 years, like I can't do it. I can't. Like I'm a social human being. I need a social life.
Yeah.
I need to love the country where I am, and I need to feel like this is home. You know?
Yeah. And even at least like, just linking up with people once in a while, or just knowing that, even if it's online, knowing like, even though I'm not physically next to this person,
Yeah.
I can ask them like for a weekend, what are you doing? Like, do you want to link up or something?
Just
at
having
least
someone
that way,
to text, yeah.
text, talk to, and even just go take a walk and talk.
I didn't have that.
That's crazy. I can't do it.
And I don't think I'm crazy, or I don't think I have a problem. I don't think
Yeah.
I was the issue. I just think it's the culture in that country.
And that's how people are.
Yes. So they have their own life going on. If they meet you at work and they see that you're new, they won't really think about.
They won't ask, like, like for me, like every time I see somebody who's new,
Yeah.
I'm always thinking like, yo, the reason why I asked you to the podcast is because I watched that YouTube video you and your friend made, and you're talking about, just coming to Kenya and, your experience. And like for me, I know, because I've had that feeling going to somewhere like SA and so many other places where like, it's really just like your first time there, and then you're trying to figure out like, yo, how do I like just connect with one person who's gonna make everything so much easy for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, let's talk about it like on the podcast, because like there's so many people who like maybe expatriates, people who just because of school or work find themselves like, in Kenya and like have to adapt and all those things that come with it.
But Kenya is amazing in that sense though.
Oh yeah, people want to be like friends. Everybody wants to be friends with everybody.
And straight. Like as soon as someone hears that you're not from here, it's like, Karibu sana, let's do something. Have you seen this? Have you done this? It's just amazing. Or just like, let's grab coffee.
That's nice, which is very rare, of course, in other places. Well, let's go back to how you tapped into tapestry.
Yeah.
And, weaving.
Yes, tapestry weaving, yeah.
Tapestry weaving, and then we'll get back to now, like you just, landing in Kenya and adapting to this new environment.
Right.
So here you are, you have your kid, and you've gained interest in this one thing that you're also learning online.
Yeah.
So what next from there? Did you start your YouTube next, or you just kept on learning and doing these things for fun, just for fun?
So first I started the weaving, and then I had this idea in my mind. I started working at IKEA as well in England.
Yeah.
And I hated being employed. So I was thinking I need to find a way to be my own boss.
Yeah.
So I paid for a class online to learn how to create a profitable website.
Okay.
And that website could be a blog, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be anything that would be related to your passion in life. So that's how I connected those two things. The course was really interesting. It was really expensive as well.
Wow. But wait, before you finish that,
Yeah.
what did you initially study like in school? What was like your major? What did you study?
Business, and then I specialized in international marketing.
Jeez. Okay.
It's no big deal. I just did a bachelor. I didn't.
What do you mean it's no big deal?
It's
It is
not.
a big deal. Okay, let's bounce forward back to...
I didn't say, like, I'm not a doctor. I can't save someone's life. It's not a big deal. Really, it's just about understanding people's needs and catering to them. That's it. Marketing.
It's a big deal. Marketing is everything if you think about it right now. Isn't everything marketing?
Yeah, that's why everyone studies marketing, and then the market is saturated.
Yeah. Okay, so now step forward to now you studying this course that you're saying it was like actually expensive.
Yeah. So I was thinking I'm either going to do like a sewing YouTube channel or a weaving one, or like a mix of both.
Okay.
And I started doing that, and I kind of stopped because I hated so many things about it, like editing. or shooting the sewing videos was a headache. It's like, imagine how long it takes to make a garment, and then how long it takes to shoot it and then edit that video. That's like 14 hours of shootage that you have to edit. It was a headache, so I kind of took a break from it. Even though the weaving videos were doing very well, and I had a whole plan of creating a course online that would be, like, it wouldn't be free. That would like bring me some income, and I had this whole planned out, but I took a break from it. And then life came into it as well. It's just.
But that's still part of your life. What do you mean?
Yeah.
You had one job to do. It's something that you like. You had one job to do.
That's it. The thing is, do I really enjoy it though? That's the question I was asking myself.
Oh, it's the shooting and editing bit which made you.
And that's everything basically.
Yeah. Because that's the only way you can put your.
Yeah, your work.
And even generate
Yeah. So now I'm kind of rethinking the whole thing, and I think the weaving videos were easier to shoot, so I did enjoy making those. So I'm thinking I'm going to forget about the sewing part and focus on that niche that weaving is. Especially since there's not many people doing it.
Yeah.
Even online. There's a couple of weavers that have online classes. So.
I tried to Google and go on YouTube. I was like, geez, I need to talk to this person so that I just understand, because it's definitely an untapped market. So I think if it's something that you enjoy, and maybe just like you said, you need to re-evaluate and get a different approach so that it's not too tedious for you.
Yeah.
I think I don't think you have to do like the whole process. You can do maybe like a time lapse, and then like now do like a narration video where you're talking about what you did and techniques that you're doing and everything.
Yeah, but personally when I watch a video, I like it to be visual and quick.
Yeah,
so,
the attention span, man.
Yeah, I would never watch a tutorial that's more than 10 minutes, for example. That's why when I was making videos, I would make sure they were not long, and that's where it was really hard to edit. But the people that I follow on YouTube, I guess it takes practice. They make garments, and it takes like only 6 minutes on the YouTube video, and I'm like, wow, how did you do that? It's just, a lot of practice. And having a full-time job as well as doing the YouTube thing is challenging. Yeah. And a kid on top of that.
Yep.
So it's just like priorities and asking myself what I really want at the end.
Okay, so now before we come back to when you started doing the videos, did you start them in Kenya or when you were in UK with the baby? You got the kid in UK?
Yes, she's 3.5 now.
Okay.
I started making videos. I started the sewing bits.
Or just the interest in UK?
No, the class I started in England, and then I think I already started in England, yeah. But it developed more here.
Okay, so what made you move from England to come to this country of ours?
That's what I told you. It's like the social life being dead in England. I'm serious.
Are you really serious? Like that's the one of the major things that made you...
You need to understand, like before going to England, I was in Ghana. And I loved Ghana, and I was doing an internship there. The company that I was working with wanted me to stay, but I didn't like their work ethic, so I left.
It's still marketing?
It was, marketing and fashion.
How many jobs have you done, first of all? Because now we just, I'm just jumping from, I just asked this question and I'm like, oh shit, another country, another. So how many countries have you?
Okay.
Because I almost thought that this was like your full-time thing.
No.
Okay, but how many other jobs have you done before you?
Okay,
We'll tap into, we'll ease in back to this because I just want people to understand, like, all these things that shape you to who you are.
Yeah. It's easier to understand. If you understand my relationship with this continent, then you will understand why I came here.
Yeah.
So the first time I came to Africa, it was Benin. I was an au pair there.
Okay.
And it was completely unexpected. My parents don't even know the truth about this experience.
Wow.
Right. What happened is I was looking for a summer job. So I got into this au pair website, and there's this guy who's looking for an au pair for his son because they speak French over there, and he was Australian.
What's an au pair?
An au pair is a nanny from another country that will teach your kid how to speak her language, basically. So he hired me, and I went to Benin, and I told my parents. My parents are very strict. They're quite paranoid. So when I told them I was going to Benin, I had to make up a story. I told them I was going for an internship, because if I told them I'm going to be a nanny at a man's house, there's no mother.
There's no way.
And there's no way. Even for the internship, they said, no, you're not going.
Take care of the kid outdoors where we can see surveillance and
Take
everything.
care of your sister.
Oh, yeah.
What do you want? So, I made up this lie, and God forgive me. I went even though they were against the whole thing. And it was amazing. It was just 2 months of like just being somewhere completely different than France, and meeting people that were so warm and welcoming, and it was just like my first crush. And I went back to France. I was so sad and depressed. I kept going
like, what's this?
Why am I here? There's so many places in the world that are better than this one.
Candle.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then I did my best to go back, went to Morocco for an internship related to my studies, and then Ghana happened as well after. And Ghana was the longest. It was like 5 months. And I really loved it. But
so still internship?
Yes, internship as well. That ended up being a job offer that I didn't take. But no regrets, really. Then I met my husband at the time, got married, went to England because he was in England and he was settled there.
Is he Ghanaian? Okay, hold on.
No.
Hold on. Say happy birthday.
My birthday is coming.
Your birthday is coming soon?
In June.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Thank you. So, my question earlier was, you know why I asked that question? Because, you said you met him in Ghana?
No.
Oh, in UK?
Online.
Online? Oh, wow. So, online dating does work, you see? Guys, you can actually find your lifetime partner. But you've been married once though, right?
Yeah, just once.
Okay.
Why'd you say it?
Just confirming. Just confirming.
That I know of, yeah.
That you know of. Yeah. So you meet your hubby online.
Yeah, so I decided to move to England because he was settled there. He had his job there. And then, after 2 years, I realized this is not where I want to be, and there's so many other places in the world that we could explore and see if we could both be happy over there,
Yeah.
Because I'm not a big family person. I haven't seen my parents in 2 years, unfortunately. I miss them, I love them, but if my life is somewhere else and I'm happier somewhere else, then I would consider staying somewhere else and far from my parents. The same way they left Morocco to have a better life.
Yeah, they started it. They started this
Exactly.
thing.
Well, with me, for them, it's completely confusing because they wonder what I'm doing in Africa when they left Africa.
Yeah, they're like, why?
My dad every day is like, what is she doing there? They have these stereotypes about Africa, and obviously. But anyway, so
I can't blame them. It's what they see on the news, though.
Yeah. It's true. Until you come here, you can't understand.
You won't understand
the potential.
Have you been to the coast?
Yeah.
Okay, you should take them there if they come visiting.
Yeah, maybe.
Then they'll be like, you know what? We know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, and Lamu especially has a very Moroccan vibe.
Yeah,
so
they
I
would
think,
love it.
Yeah, they would definitely.
Okay, back to you going back to England, telling your hubby like, you know what, want to try something new. And
yeah. So he applied for jobs all around the world, and he found something in Kenya. And 2 years ago, we landed here. And now I can't see myself anywhere else at the moment.
Really?
I can never picture myself living in France, for example. Would never go back to England. Once, not twice.
Yeah, I have people dying to get that. What's the visa called? Schengen visa?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I have people dying to get that visa.
I can understand that. I mean, I was born there. I lived there until I was
so you've already
20.
experienced
Yeah,
it.
and then I took everything I could take from France. Like I told you, free education, free healthcare, and then so much more. That's why I'll never complain. Like it's like this weird relationship with France. It's like a love and hate relationship, you know? It's like a mother that didn't really want us, but still gave us because she had no choice, you know?
Yeah.
I'm talking about us immigrants,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm first generation in France. But just the vibe over there is completely different. So everyone has a different vibe, and I consider a country to be like a person. You can't get on with every person in the world the same way you can't be
True.
happy in every country in the world.
True.
So I'm open to finding my happy place, and for now it's Kenya, so I'm blessed.